everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge, and this is Cruise Peruse, episode number 80. Fuck! Well, it's 80 fuck. It's gonna be on there. Alright, just kind of doing this off the head. Boys and girls, I know I haven't done a Cruise Peruse in a couple of days. And if any of you missed it for, whatever reason, I'm not here to question your judgment as to why you keep coming back to this channel. But hey, I'm back at it, baby. The podcast is out for those of you who are curious, or I don't give a fuck if you're curious. The podcast is out. It's on the YouTube page, boys and girls. So if you want to check that out, it is there. And lots of just silence, in the sports ball world right now, because Sunday, you had all the cup finals just finally end, and you had the All-Star games, for the MLB on Monday and Tuesday. Talked about the Home Run Derby. Wasn't too crazy about the All-Star game itself. I actually watched a majority of it, up to like the 8th or 9th inning. I was like, all right, this is probably going to be an AL win, and it was. And the one curious part about the All-Star game that for the life of me, if someone could explain this, all right, why the fuck do you have the players mic'd up on the field and you're interviewing them during the fucking game? Like, listen, I get it. It's an All-Star game. It's all fair fun. There's not a lot of competition going on, but it's one of those fucking stupid-ass things. Like, did you really need to hear a player or a manager during a game? Like, who fucking cares? Like, okay, so a perfect example was this. I believe it was like the second or third inning. You had Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich on, playing on the outfield, getting interviewed, right? They're getting interviewed, and they're asked about, hey, guys, Cody, you think baseballs are juiced up now? I don't know, man. I don't really know about that. It's none of my business. And, Christian Yelich, yeah. I'm not really a science guy, so I don't really know that myself. And just sitting there like, who the fuck? Why are we asking these guys about juiced up balls? Like, who the fuck cares? I know Justin Verlander was going off like this weekend, like, oh, the balls are juiced. We gotta get those things checked. Like, who fucking cares? God damn it! Like, I'm not here to just say as like an ignorant baseball guy, like, oh, I'll just get on with it. But like, get on with it. Fuck. Nah, I don't know, man. I wasn't too crazy about the All-Star game. I'm just saying that right now. U.S. Women's National Team, they're back. They're back home in the United States. And the reason why I'm, buffering in my head here is because I really don't know what else to talk about today. Because, you had the U.S. Women's National Team had their victory parade in New York, and then they were at the ESPYs last night. Another award show I just did not watch. I didn't care to turn on the TV and say, hey, this is going to be great. No, that never registered in my head. It was just one of those things with award shows where I've been to one, the NHL award show. It's nice. It's great. At the same time, like, unless, it's in the city I'm at, or if I'm going there live, it's a different story, but I don't want to watch it on the television screen, That's a weird way to explain it, but folks out there, some of y'all know what I mean. And the ESPYs, it's the most fucking self-elating sports shit every year. I mean, kudos to those athletes who win those awards and stuff. It's awesome. It really is. I'm gonna shut this noise down. Holy crap. I need the air conditioning because it's hot as shit right now. It's about 100 degrees outside, 10 in the morning. But yeah, I wasn't too crazy about the ESPYs, man. I was just happy that, the U.S. Women's National Team, they're home. There's a lot of speeches, right? Rapinoe. There's talks of equal rights in terms of wage gaps between the men and the women. There's a lot of hot topics right now with the U.S. Women's National Team. Personally, I'm taking a step back and just observing from afar, because I don't really want to have a strong opinion one way or the other without the facts, right? I'm still at this point of like, all right, I get the logic of the naysayers. I do. You know, the revenue isn't the revenue is generated relative to the men. It's not as much. Yada yada yada. And like there's a lot of little tidbits that we can, you know, pinpoint and nitpick. But right now, I don't really have all the facts, so I don't want to make up my mind on this debate. And listen, the whole like fucking socio-political debate, you know why those things are fucking annoying? Because at the end of the day, most people, they're gonna be one-sided, right? They're gonna be on one side or another side, and they won't really care for the subtlety of the argument, the nuances of the argument, and the reality, which is gonna happen, is an impasse, right? Most of these things, you know, when people voice their opinions about socioeconomic or socio-political issues, a lot of times it reaches an impasse. It doesn't really get done. It's just kind of left there and like as a thought bubble, just forming about, right? Like a cloud storage. But all I'm saying is, it just don't get too hyped up for one side or the other. I would just say that. And it really is, that's my philosophy with politics. Don't get your panties in a bunch, right? There's always two issues to any argument. There's always two sides to any argument or issues. And you have to be able to look at all the sides. And afterwards, then you make in an opinion, and then you explain yourself after that, right? But generally, what happens with politics a lot of times is what I notice is, you can talk politics, but like I said, one side is dead set on their, you know, argument, the other is dead set on their argument. They're not going to change. It's like any political, religious debate. It will never change. It won't. It just won't. And so I just kind of observe and just watch the fire burn around everywhere, because it's funnier to see people just freak the fuck out more than anything. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, whenever I rewatch my own videos after I record them, because I want to get better talking to the fucking camera for you good people out there, I tend to notice, like, I'll be really strongly opinionated on a certain subject, but if I get proven wrong, I ease up, you know, I ease off of my position, and it gets deconstructed, right? I mean, the end of the day, you're never always going to be right. I know it's a weird way to say that, but you will be wrong. Most of the time, you're going to be wrong, you're going to fail, and that's fine, right? I mean, I've had opinions about, you know, certain sports teams where, for the longest time, it was ire, it's doubt, and then they proved me wrong, and then that's where I say, cool, man, like, you proved me wrong, kudos to you guys, keep it going. And really, the reason why I'm laying that out right now, boys and girls, is because we gotta talk about the NBA, right? I know it's the off season. I know football is only less than a month away. I know, boys and girls, I'm really excited about that too. But the NBA has just dominated the sports talking points. It really has, I believe. All right, let's go into this. And with the NBA landscape right now, with free agency happening, what happened with the free agency, it's a very different landscape. And, you know, there's talks of Russell Westbrook potentially leaving OKC, which is, again, another crazy-ass piece of business if that happens. And as an NBA fan, all you can really think is just, oh my God, this is going to be one of the most wildest, unpredictable NBA season. And I can't wait till October. I really can. It's going to be fucking awesome to watch. And the curious part about free agency was all these contracts that flew out, right? A lot of the people, they assumed, you know, what the contract for certain players were going to be. But it turns out false. Like Marcus Morris, who was supposed to sign a 2-year contract, was evaluated at like $28 million or something like that, $26 million, was supposed to play with the San Antonio Spurs, but has reconsidered everything and is now headed to the New York Knicks. 1 year, $15 million. Which, again, like this, it's cool that there's a lot of intricacies with the way contracts work, and you take into context of like what the team is going to be or what team they're going to play for. It's curious. It makes a lot of interesting narratives. And the one thing about the Clippers that I have to talk about today is the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George contracts. So their contract is a 2-year plus 1 year player opt-in? Yeah, player option contract, which pretty much means when the new CBA is done in around 2021, I believe. I think that's the date. They're going to get more money. So whether they stay at the Clippers or not, it's all up to them. It's really left up to them, and it's really left up to the market. It's left up to teams to see who can sign them up. It's going to be curious. It really is going to be curious because that market's going to change, right? CBA gaining more money, the TV money coming in. The NBA salary cap is stupid sometimes. It really is. Guaranteed money going to some of these young players who, at the end of the day, they're 20-something-year-old young men. Some of them are morons. And I'm not jabbing at anybody. I'm just saying generally 20-something-year-old guys with a lot of money, they do stupid shit, right? So it's going to be curious to see who gets paid soon in 2021. And I know Clippers fans are getting excited, right? As they should be. They're off-season winners. Good job. And how many times have I said off-season winning doesn't mean shit? I've said this a lot of times. But it's okay to get gassed. It's okay to get hyped. But just don't, go out there saying outlandish shit like you're going to win the championship. Like, stop it. You don't know. You don't fucking know. Nobody does. Like, this is just a formed roster in the offseason. No one knows how the hell actual chemistry is going to be. No one knows how actual spacing is going to be. And I'm not just talking about the Clippers. I'm talking about all the teams in the NBA right now. We can get gassed up for all these teams like Utah, Dallas, Clippers, even, oh gosh, what's the other team there? Miami, 76ers. You get excited for all these teams, but again, it's still the offseason. We haven't even started a fucking game. And all these sports media, outlets here, I swear to God, dude, I don't know how many fucking times throughout this week. This is Thursday, by the way. It's only Thursday, but I don't know how many fucking times this week I have to see a goddamn, who's the offseason? Who's gonna win the championship? Like, you don't know. You got a bunch of fucking NFL analysts trying to talk about NBA. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Chris Carter, Shannon Sharp, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And you got jackasses like Rob Parker and Ryan Hollins just talking fucking nonsense. It's like, dude, anytime I turn on ESPN or Fox, I just want to shoot my fucking brains out. Holy hell. Just filleting everyone during the offseason. Like, you don't know what the hell's going to happen, dude. Just run through the fucking roster, but, like, don't assume everyone's going to win shit. God damn it. And what pisses me off a little bit more, and I know this episode, I'm just bitching. This is just a bitching episode. And through that bitching, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this again. I have to talk about this again. Because the Lakers are getting, criticized a lot. They are. They're getting criticized way too much. Oh, they lost this. Oh, they're a laughingstock. Dude, we've been a laughingstock for 2 fucking years. To be honest, we've been a laughingstock since 2016 when Kobe retired. Even that season was horrendous. That was an awful season. But we pretend to sit here and think like the Lakers have been good the last few years. No! The Lakers have been terrible the last 6 years. We've been to the playoff for the last 6 years. Like, you understand, like, it can't get worse, right? Like, it really can't. Like, I've seen the worst of the worst in the last few years. It's like, yeah, it can't get worse. It really can't, right? Like, these media folks, like, the reason why, too, is because a lot of folks hate LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the most polarizing athletes out there. And you got half the nation sucking his dick. You got the other half of the nation just hating his guts. I'm right there in the middle. There are days where I just truly despise LeBron James and his fucking antics on and off the court. Just drives me nuts. But at the same time, he's a Laker. He's a Laker player. I'm not going to fucking hate on him because he's a Lakers player. Like, I'm going to hate on him, but I'm not going to hate on him in that regard, if you guys know what I mean. It's kind of like a family thing where you can fucking get irritated by your brother or your sister, your mom or your dad or whoever in your family. At the end of the day, they're still your family. You gotta fucking deal with that shit. That's really it, right? I'm a fan. At the end of the day, let me just clarify this. As a fan, I'll get passionate. I'm gonna bitch. I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna get rowdy if my team doesn't do well, because I expect great things from them. Because we're the fucking Lakers. We should be doing better. But the last 6 or so years has really humbled our organization down. Glad it has. I'm really glad it has, man, because as much as we should enjoy winning, we should also realize that, yeah, we can't win all the time. And despite me saying all of that, I still don't buy into the narrative that we've lost in this free agency. I really don't. It's a narrative that media folks are trying to push at you guys, you know, on national television. Just, hey, LeBron James lost. It's like, he didn't lose the free agency. It was a 3-horse race, right? We didn't, like, I wouldn't call it losing. I just more along the line say, like, you had your chance, missed it. It happens. It happens, man. You don't land all the free agency. You don't land all the free agents. You can't. That's the bottom line. Even if we wanted Kawhi, I mean, yeah, when we got that max cap space, I think more than the Hollywood, more than the narrative that was being pushed by the sports media was the idea that timing was right there for the Lakers, right? This is where a lot of Lakers fans started fantasizing about timing, about happenstance and circumstance, and it could have happened, could have, but now it's gone, it's done, it's over with. We don't need to talk about the what ifs and whatevers. Like, all that shit's done, dude. It's done. Now we gotta focus on the now. We gotta focus on the now, what we're gonna do from this point on. And, you know, I gotta close it off with the Lakers again, boys and girls. We gotta talk about my Lakers. As I fucking talked around in circles about the NBA, so I gotta talk about something in a straight arrow, right? And so, talks come out. The LeBron James, is gonna run point. You know, we got Avery Bradley. We got a couple of these young cats that, you know, the Lakers signed up for to solidify that reserve spot role. And we got a bunch of two-way guys in the G League, so that's going to be pretty fun to watch too. But for the Lakers, it's what I've been saying: just start early. I don't care if it's practice. I don't care if it's dinner meetings. I don't care if it's laser tag. I want these fucking Lakers guys to start bonding early. Start team activities early. And, you know, now with all the free agency dust settled down and the contracts finally signed between all these players in the organization, now we can take a look at all these individual players. You know, these players are coming out on interviews, you know, talking about, you know, their excitement, the potential that could be with the new teams. And Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins, went on Sportsnet, whatever, the LA station that has, you know, that licenses Lakers games, interviews Boogie. And I actually have to check this out, but from what he said in that interview and from how he appeared, I haven't looked at it, but a lot of Lakers fans, a lot of people, just NBA fans, listening to this and seeing this is just noticing one thing, that, well, a couple of things. Number one, Boogie is much, much leaner, and his enthusiasm is palpable. That, to me, speaks very well about our future right now. I know I had that reaction with Boogie where I've seen his resume. We've all seen his resume. We've seen it unfold, and I could call him a cancer. I really can. But at the same time, when he played with AD, he was spectacular. He was so fun to watch, and I'm really hoping playing with AD again and playing in Los Angeles, playing with purpose, playing with a role, you know, in that partnership can bolster his confidence, get him back to the Boogie of old. And maybe the Lakers push for it, right? The ultimate hope for me this season with the Lakers is cohesion, team chemistry, some philosophy with with what kind of basketball we're going to play, and decent coaching. Like, Frank Vogel is a huge red flag for me because of the fact that, Jason Kidd's also an assistant. More than likely 6 months in, I could definitely see Frank Vogel getting ousted for Jason Kidd. I could definitely see that happening. But we got to figure everything out. There's still a couple of months before the actual league starts, and it's gonna be a huge jigsaw puzzle to figure out. But if the Lakers can figure everything out, and if they can get 42 wins, because that's all I want. Okay, all I want is 42 wins. Is that too much to ask? Like, is that really too much to ask to want 42 fucking wins? It could be. But that's what I really want. 42 wins for my Lakers with this new roster. Enthusiasm seems good. I think the energy and the vibe this new squad can create can be good. It's a bunch of veteran guys, older guys, but we also got a couple of young guys. Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso. They could be the young, dynamic players that boost our roster. Kids, I'm brain dead today. All right. and here's the thing too. When there's not a lot of sports ball action, Cruise Peruse is very hard to go through. But hey, here we are at the end of the episode. Talked about some nonsensical shit and mostly the NBA. But boys and girls, if you want more shit, follow me at the SkyLounge and all links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents.